hype workout video yesterday, and I gotta tell you, I am over people posting their workouts on social media. The nerve. Like, we need to see your workouts in your gym with your sweat.
All right, this is funny.
It is so... I'm joking. I'm joking. I love it. I love it all. I love every last second of what I'm looking at. Sign me up for the whole thing. The low angles, the high angles, shirt, no shirt, dunks, passes, balls, burpees, sweat, swag, LeBron, Russ, my friend Allie. I don't care who it is. If you're selling hype or high intensity, I'm in. Whether you're wearing clothes like Brody or no clothes like LeBron, who's practically plain naked. In fact, Nick, I might even post a little something of the fitness nature myself today. Can't make any promises. It'll obviously be a first for me. Check out the old Instagram page. Maybe I'll dive into the fitness world a little bit. I'll post something like the Lakers did last night.
It'd be a good
I might
departure.
even do it during the show.
It'd be a surprising departure. There you go, as opposed to the normal, just photos, loving photos of your children and family, which is usually just your Instagram page lousy with. Yeah, that's, yeah, that'd be
all
great.
right. We got to get serious here. We got to get serious here. This is the world's largest drum that is owned by Purdue University. It's celebrating its 100th birthday. Do you think it's going to be on the field when Purdue plays Notre Dame? It will not. Here's the story, if we can throw up the quote. Notre Dame's not allowing it in. Notre Dame Athletics has restricted use of their main tunnel to their own football team and band, which is the only entrance large enough for the drum. Capitalized. We have been told that visiting teams and bands have to use a separate tunnel that is much smaller. Our drum, capital D, is about 10 feet tall on its carriage, whatever that is, and 565 pounds. So it doesn't even come close to fitting in this other tunnel. Look, you never want to give an opposing team bulletin board material. And Notre Dame, you have messed up in a major way. Because if I was the Purdue Boilermakers coach, I'd sit down my team. I'd say, gather around, guys, gather around. Gather around. We hit that field. You don't play for yourself. You don't play for your brothers in here. You don't play for me. You don't play for your parents. You don't play for your family and your friends. You go out there and play for that drum. You can't be here
Such
today.
an idiot.
God, he's still going to make some noise. Let's go, Boilermakers! Boom, boom, boom. Then I shut down the drum.
Go drum!
Oh, my.
Go drum!
So dumb.
Go drum!
Oh, my.
It's actually pronounced drum.
So stupid.
Time now for Drawing a Blank. Talking Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. After the MVP admitted the team needs to be better than they were in Week 1 when they got molly-whopped, as Nick would say, by the Jameis Winston-led Saints. Next up, a gimme in Dan Campbell's Detroit Lions. Or is it? Should the Packers be on upset alert again? Certainly on the board. Happened last week, but Broussard, the team that should be on upset alert in Week 2, is blank.
Jenna, it's the San Francisco 49ers. All right, first of all, we all know that when you are a West Coast team and you're playing on the East Coast at 1 o'clock, it's tough because you're essentially playing at 10 o'clock in the morning your time. So it takes your body to get a while to get acclimated to that. So that is one thing, one reason that the 49ers need to be on upset alert. Secondly, they didn't exactly end their last game with a bang. All right, when they gave up those two touchdowns at the end of the game. And I don't want to make too much out of it, but I just didn't like it. I didn't like the attitude that it showed. All right, they let go of the rope. And then you wonder, could that spill over into this week? And then they're facing Philadelphia, which shocked everybody. I mean, you used the word mollywop, Jenna. Well, they mollywop Knicks Falcons. Yes, they're Knicks Falcons. He's got them making the playoffs. And so Jalen Hurts, is he for real? If he is, and I like the young talent in Philadelphia. I really like Miles Sanders. I think he's underrated. And Devontae Smith, what a debut. So I'm not picking the upset, but this is definitely one to watch on the upset alert meter.
Okay, so listen, way to have courage and go out on a limb by not picking an upset, but just monitoring it as a potential upset. I like that. Listen, you're not going to take shots at me having the courage, the conviction, the gall to pick the Falcons to make the playoffs, and then at the end be like, let me be clear. This isn't a pick.
How's that working out for you?
This is just a pick of a possible pick. Yeah, okay. Here's the thing.
No, how's that working out for you right now? That Falcons pick.
Week 1, not great. Week 1, we never know who it's about. So week 1, is it about that the Falcons are simply awful? Is it about that the Eagles are awesome? Is it about a little of both? None of the above, an outlier game? So that's why week 2 is so fascinating and interesting. What I would say about that game, Broussard, is if you look at Jalen, who was outstanding in that game, almost all of his production came throwing to the right side of the field and when he got out to the right side of the field. So I'm sure if I noticed it, the 49ers and that great defense noticed it. My guess is they pressure him from that side, try to force him to the left, and we'll see how he adjusts. I'm going with one that I do think is going to happen. Not that possibly you could watch and see it's close. No. I'm picking this upset. Miami's going to beat the Bills. The Bills are going to fall to 0-2. The Bills got to go down to Miami. You have that outstanding Miami defense that knows they don't have to worry about a running game at all from Buffalo. You have a Bills defense that I think is inferior to the Patriots defense from last week, so it should be a little easier on Tua. And I just think this is a golden opportunity, Wilds, for the Dolphins. All 2-0 starts are not created equal. If your 2-0 start is 2 victories over supposedly the 2 teams in your division you're chasing, and you already guarantee yourself at worst a season split, you start 2-0 in the divisional standings. I like Miami's coach. I love their defense. I think Tua will be better than he was last week. And one more really rough outing, and this Miami defense can do this to you. The Josh Allen conversation starts getting louder and louder. So I'm going to go ahead and say the Dolphins as 3.5-point dogs at home win outright over the Bills.
What Josh Allen conversation are you having? You want to claw back money? What do you want to do? It's like when you buy, you want to cancel your purchase? What do you want? You want to cancel the contract? The Josh Allen conversation, one more bad game. The conversation starts being, is Josh Allen, does he belong in the conversation of the league's best quarterbacks, or does he belong in the conversation of the league's worst contracts? Those are 2 very different conversations. And so I'm just saying the conversation, could start to bubble up a bit in spaces outside of this show. This show's been having it because this show likes to be ahead of the curve. Yeah.
Other shows could have it.
This show is like your Google Drafts. The conversation should be happening as a full Google document, a dossier. Okay, I'm not going to be like Broussard and say, watch out for this, but I'm not picking this. I am telling you right now that this 100% absolutely will happen. Saints letdown game when they go into Carolina. I can't believe it. Why not? Ooh. You think Jameis was that good, honestly? It was a nice story. I like the LASIK. I like that. No, you don't. You don't believe he was that good of what you saw. Meanwhile, Sam Darnold looked pretty good. That defense hit Zach Wilson 6 times for 51 yards of loss. I think the defense is better than anybody thinks. And Christian McCaffrey, a lot of guys are coming back from injury. We just saw Saquon come back and be okay. We saw Zeke be okay. Meanwhile, Christian McCaffrey had almost 200 yards from scrimmage. So I think he's going to have another big game. Panthers over Saints, Jenna. Put it in the books. Pen. Not pencil.
Also, the Panthers, that mixed reality Panther, it's scaring the crud out of just about any of their opponents. So I will say I'm going with Wilds on this one. I'm going with Wilds on this one. Back talking some Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. It is only week 2, but is Sunday's game in L.A. already a must-win?